If you've been in the kendama scene for a bit, you understand that this game turns the impossible into the possible. The longer that you go back, the more that you understand this. You can take a player that's been grinding for 8 months, throw him back in 2013, and he's landing stuff easily that the players at the time would never dream of doing. For example, look at boulders balance to tightrope flip, or a tray flip to a quad stilt flip, or a juggle to this. With how new kendama is in America, we are truly in a period of growth. And I don't necessarily mean growth in popularity, I mean growth in possible trick concepts. When you think about trick growth in the last decade, one concept that comes to mind is taps. Tapping the kendama is when a player will tap the ken back and forth with the tama. It's a very easy to understand trick, and it might not look that difficult to people who've never played kendama before. But don't get me wrong, it's extremely challenging. You have to be so delicate and precise with your taps that it takes months to even years to learn something like a triple tap. And it doesn't get any easier from there. Every level that you go up, it gets more and more difficult. Everyone that has learned to tap a kendama knows how challenging it is. But this is exactly why this concept grew so much in the last decade. It was incredibly impressive in the kendama scene because everybody knew how hard it was. And it's also a trick that can conceivably keep getting its record broken, as we'll see. If you look at J-sticks, lunar flips, stilt flips, lighthouses, that has to do with the person's string length, arm length, height, and reach. But taps is a different story. It relies completely on practice, on technique, on patience, and a whole lot of grit. The progression of tapping is so unique, I think it's jaw-dropping to anybody who doesn't know how this story goes. Let's take it back to 2013 with the first triple tap, and we'll go from there.
Dawid. Łapta już się stało. Ziłę Putin, Dawid.
So there you have it, all the current record-breaking videos from triple tap to 24 tap. And for people who don't know him, T-Blex or Ty-Blex is known now to be one of the best kendama players there is, especially at new gen tricks. And in my talk with him, which I'll post the whole interview separately, he talked me through why and how he got interested in taps in the first place.
What brought me into taps was UST. You know, he had in 2016 a game of Ken with TG Kolsnik,
Yeah.
and he did a quad tap, and I was like, wow, what the... And I decided to start tapping.
What's crazy to me is when he first picked up a kendama, Mikey Schelling hit 7 tap, and then 3 years later, he went on to break the new record with 14 tap. That just goes to show you that you don't necessarily need to be in kendama first to be the best. You just need to have enough patience, love, dedication, and put in enough work. I asked him how much he practiced, how much he played to get that good.
And 2018 was a decisive year for me. Then, back then, I saw people, especially in Romania, doing 7 taps, 8 taps, and I decided to start again tapping and getting as much as I could. And I can say I got, from the beginning of 2018 till the end of 2018, I got from 5 taps to 14 taps. I have to say my parents were not very happy. I mean, I used to stay in my room and do, wait.
Yeah.
And they were pretty upset, but they got over.
And what was interesting is after 14, he didn't have anyone else to compete with. So he had some really interesting things to say about what pushed him to continue.
A good thing happened in the spring of 2019. You know, Takuya actually did 14 taps. And I felt motivated again to lay 16. And then 18, and then miraculously 20.
And one thing I've personally wondered is the difficulty from going to 2 to 4 compared to something like 12 to 14, which he talks about too.
It was actually easier because I could like practice 2 or 3 taps, but you cannot practice 20 taps. So you have to be experienced to know how to seize the moment.
And finally, he left us with some words of motivation.
Spending too much time. I used to like spend very much time, and I felt I wasn't progressing that much. And when I spent a bit less time, I felt more. I felt better. I felt that I was able to progress much easier. So you have to find a balance between dedicating yourself and
Enjoying it.
yes.
As you can see, all the trick concepts that are out there, taps went down a rabbit hole. Maybe it's because of its difficulty or its lack of ceiling. Tapping a kendama is one of the most impressive aspects of kendama thus far. Thanks to everyone who was featured in the video. Thanks to T-Blex especially and Active Kendama. I hope you enjoyed this one. I definitely had a great time making it, and I'll see you later.